Missiles are being fired faster than factories can replace them. 2/3 of a year's supply gone in 19 days. Prison gates thrown open. Putin is running a race against the clock before Ukraine's allies arrive. Is this strength, or is this Moscow running out of time? What happens when a country starts using its missiles faster than it can replace them? Russia may have an answer to that. In the first 19 days of July, Russia used 2/3 of its planned annual production of 3M2 Zircon missiles, while the number of ballistic missiles used exceeded their total monthly production. According to estimates by Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, Russia will produce about 60 9M7 2-3 ballistic missiles for the Iskander M system and 40 RM-48U missiles launched from S-400 systems each month in 2026. A surprising observation has been made by military outlet Militarnyi, drawing conclusions based on Ukrainian Air Force and regional Air Command reports. They found that Russian forces have launched 107 ballistic missiles and 23 M-22 Zircon missiles since the start of July, including a massive overnight barrage on July 19th. These figures already exceed Russia's estimated monthly output of roughly 100 Iskander M and RM-48U missiles combined. The Zircon expenditure is even starker. Moscow plans to build only 30 of the hypersonic cruise missiles in 2026, meaning the 20 fired so far this month account for 2/3 of that entire annual target. According to Defense Intelligence of Ukraine estimates, before the offensive began, Russia held stockpiles of more than 100 Iskander M missiles, over 400 RM-48U rounds, and more than 120 Zircon missiles. The scale and speed of the current campaign lead to one possible explanation. Moscow is trying to exploit a narrow window. Before Western supplies can close the gap, Russia strives to hit Ukraine hard while its stock of interceptors remains limited. But the strategy is a gamble that is emptying Russia's own arsenal faster than its industry can refill it. The pressure is visible beyond the missile war too. Citing a video published by the Rogozin Telegram channel, Potuzhny Informator Telegram channel reported that the Russian Bars Sarmat unit has started using new types of anti-aircraft FPV drones, mounting them on Yak-52 and An-2 aircraft. These are aging aircraft repurposed to hunt Ukrainian drones because more capable ones are in short supply. Not only this, but Yak-52 was shown to be armed with 6 drone launchers with no clear space on the aircraft to control them directly from the cockpit. The situation within the ground forces is no different. The Moscow Times reports that Russia has been permitted to mobilize citizens with criminal convictions for the most serious crimes, including murder, robbery, armed robbery, and drug trafficking. Faced with a shortage of volunteers, Russia began actively recruiting individuals under investigation and those in custody in exchange for the dismissal of criminal cases before sentences were handed down. The push comes as the influx of new recruits fell by roughly 1/3 in the first quarter of 2026, leaving Russia short of its annual recruitment target for the first time in years. These developments point to a Kremlin that is betting on intensity now and sustainability later. It is a strategy built on borrowed time, and borrowed time comes due. For now, the strikes keep coming, heavier and faster than Putin's factories can match. But wars are not won on the intensity of a single month. They are won on what is left when the stockpiles run out, and the enemy's allies arrive regardless. On that measure, Moscow's own numbers tell a story it is not choosing to broadcast. Russia and Ukraine exchanged another wave of large-scale strikes overnight, with both sides reporting attacks on key military, energy, and logistics infrastructure as the war entered another dangerous phase. According to Ukrainian officials on July 19th, Russian missiles and drones struck Kyiv and the surrounding region overnight, killing at least one person and injuring several others. Fires broke out at a dormitory, a residential building, supermarkets, warehouses, and other facilities across the capital, while Ukraine's Air Force warned of a sustained ballistic missile attack. In a post on X, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia had carried out one of its largest recent attacks on the capital.
Overnight, Russia carried out one of its largest ballistic missile attacks on Kyiv. The enemy launched more than 40 missiles of various types, most of them against the capital, and 120 attack drones.
Zelensky said emergency crews were responding at multiple locations, with nearly 600 rescuers deployed. He added that the latest assault was part of a much broader Russian campaign carried out over the past week.
In total, over the course of this week, Russia has used around 1,450 attack drones, more than 1,640 guided aerial bombs, and 99 missiles of various types against Ukraine. People were injured in the Odessa region and Zaporizhzhia, and there was damage in the Sumy and Chernihiv regions.
The Ukrainian president also renewed calls for faster military assistance from Western allies, stressing the urgent need for stronger air defense capabilities.
Protection against ballistic missiles is our constant and top priority right now. Interceptors are needed every day, and I am grateful to everyone who takes our agreements seriously and ensures the delivery of anti-ballistic capabilities.
Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry, in a statement on July 19th, said its overnight operations specifically targeted Ukrainian military infrastructure rather than civilian sites.
The operation also targeted infrastructure at the port of Yuzhny in Odessa region that was being used to receive and store military cargo and fuel supplies intended to support Ukrainian forces. High-precision air and ground-launched weapons and attack drones also targeted Ukrainian military-industrial facilities and logistics hubs in Kyiv and the surrounding region. We targeted only military and dual-use installations in response to Ukraine's indiscriminate terrorist attacks.
Ukrainian emergency services said helicopters and more than 200 emergency workers battled a massive warehouse fire near Kyiv on July 19th after a Russian overnight attack. The blaze, which was brought under control but was still being extinguished, engulfed 2 warehouse buildings covering about 100,000 square meters, with 3 helicopters deployed to drop water on the flames and thick black smoke rising over the site. As Russia pressed its missile campaign, Ukraine also expanded its long-range drone operations inside Russian territory. According to Russian regional authorities and independent monitoring channels, Ukrainian drones struck energy infrastructure in Stavropol Krai, igniting fires at oil storage facilities, while additional strikes targeted the occupied Crimean Peninsula. Earlier, on July 18th, another wave of Ukrainian drone attacks hit Russia's Moscow region, where regional governor Andrei Vorobyov said 7 warehouse workers were killed and dozens injured after a strike on a Wildberries logistics warehouse in Elektrostal. Separate drone attacks also sparked a fire at an oil depot in the wider Moscow region. The latest exchange of missile and drone attacks underscores the continuing escalation in the conflict, with both Moscow and Kyiv increasingly targeting each other's logistics, energy infrastructure, and strategic facilities far beyond the front lines.